Hi, I'm Rachel Jones with the Finance News Network. Joining me from Imugene is CEO Leslie Chong. Leslie, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
First up, could we start with an introduction to your company?
Imugene is an Australian biotech company. We are squarely in the immuno-oncology space. We're in the clinic and we have a fairly large pipeline up and coming.
Now to your first half 2018 results. What were the highlights?
So we have been very busy in the first half of 2018. I think of Imugene's programs into sort of three different clinical development swim lanes, as it were. So first off, we had HER-Vaxx, which is already in the clinic, and we have completed our first cohort of patients. So we're currently in the second cohort. And then our next up is our Mimitope platform, and we already have identified a candidate which we'd like to take forward, which is an anti-PD-1. And then thirdly, or the tertiary clinical development, is our arginine modulator. So we're doing some collaboration with the world-famous Baker IDI.
So now back to your portfolio. Are you able to tell me any more about HER-Vaxx?
HER-Vaxx is an anti-HER2 product. It competes in the market with, say, Herceptin, Perjeta, Kadcyla, which is an anti-HER2 franchise out of my former company of Genentech Roche. And so it targets what's receptors called HER2 that proliferates these certain kind of cancers. So HER-Vaxx attacks the same cancer receptors as those products from Genentech Roche.
Could you give us some more detail on Mimitope?
Sure. So Mimitope is sort of our exciting platform whereby we can take any existing monoclonal antibody, reverse engineer that, and create yet another HER-Vaxx-like cancer vaccine. So we are quite excited about our new targeted PD-1 Mimitope. It was our B-cell Mimitope platform. And we have identified that as a target, and we will hurriedly take that into the clinic and put together a regulatory package.
And what can you tell me about arginine modulators?
Our arginine modulator is a collaboration that we have with Baker IDI. So we're taking it into the melanoma space because what we found is that in the tumor microenvironment, arginine increase or decrease in arginine really helps T-cell activity. So T-cell activity helps you get rid of certain kinds of cancers. So we're quite excited about what that preclinical work will fruit.
And now to finances. What's your cash position and your funding requirements?
So I'm happy to report that we had an incredibly successful capital raise back at the end of 2017. So we're pretty cashed up, and that amount of money will help me progress the HER-Vaxx program as well as the Mimitope, and then the arginine as well.
And you have a new drug candidate, an anti-cancer vaccine. What can you tell me about this?
So we're pretty excited that our Mimitope platform has identified a new cancer target, which is PD-1. An anti-PD-1 is currently approved and out in the market and garners $1 billion a year, so the market is quite huge, but the opportunity for several different cancer indications is even bigger. So I'm quite excited to take that hurriedly through the preclinical work so I can put that in the clinic.
Last question, what can investors expect over the next 6 months, and what can you expect for news flow?
We have a really rich news flow of significant findings in the HER-Vaxx program as well as the Mimitopes. With HER-Vaxx, I'd like to put that into the phase 2. So we're working towards within the phase 1B to get that into the phase 2 clinical study. And then with the Mimitopes, we will be working with the Medical University of Vienna to get that expedited so that we can put that also into the clinic. And then with arginine, we are, as I said earlier, we're working very closely with Baker IDI, and hopefully we'll have some news flow around that bit as well.
Leslie Chong, thank you very much for the update.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure.